Hi team, this week I wanted to just walk you through what we're seeing as the COVID crisis life cycle and introduce you to the 4 R's. We love R's. So in terms of the 4 R's, the first R is around response. So this is when we start to first learn about the crisis in front of us. So in terms of this extreme uncertainty, and you can relate to that in the media at that time because a lot of that uncertainty is driven out of the media. So there was images of empty streets and hospital beds, massive lineups at unemployment and benefits, creating this fear in everybody. And at the time, we had to really be reactive and understand the situation we faced. As a company, we set up a crisis committee team. We looked at worst case scenario planning so the company could get through. We started to look at lead indicators to really understand how bad it was and the job that we had. Moving from that response, we then looked at and starting to move now into what is our recovery stage, which is really around getting more comfort around where we're headed. We've got plans in place. We're still very much though actively managing day to day and putting those plans together. We're looking at more positive KPIs, and in fact, I'm pleased to say this week has been our best leads for a number of weeks since February. So it's a real positive change. I think we'll then move quite quickly as a company from recovery into ramp up. We're seeing with that strong inquiry into the business, our minds moving more towards being opportunistic. So we're looking at marketing plans to take advantage of the pent-up demand that could potentially come back into the market. We're looking at giving more people hours of work as we move into that ramp up. The other important part of that ramp up is understanding what's changed. So we've introduced new ways of purchasing a vehicle, whether it be buy online, whether it be home test drive. So we're looking at that and incorporating that as new ways of doing business and bringing new technologies in that we've been forced into. So there's some positive things that will come out of that for our guests. All of that is underpinned by a word called resilience. And we've been spending time over the last week and a half with our middle management and senior management in understanding what is resilience. And resilience is really about the ability to bounce back. There's a great TED talk by Lucy Holmes. So if you searched up on the internet TED Talks and Lucy Holmes, you'll see there's a lady from New Zealand talking about resilience in Christchurch. She tells a fantastic story and I'd really urge you to watch it. But the 3 key messages out of that is the first being shit happens. So shit happens to everybody, and it's not something we can control, but resilient people understand that there are challenges, hurdles in life, and it's the way that you respond, it's the way that you either sink or swim that governs how you come out the other side. The second is find the positives. So find out what's good and be attuned to what's happening that is positive and cling on to that, because people that aren't resilient really attract themselves to all the negatives that's happening, which then becomes self-fulfilling. So as a company, we're really focused on trying to be positive through this, and I think for that we'll be much better and we'll sail through this and get through this a lot quicker than our competitors. And the third and final was around is what am I doing to help or harm? So choosing a path where it's constructive rather than deconstructive, being a supporter, not a blocker. So get on, have a look at that TED Talk. So that's some of the things we've been doing as a management team to make sure that everyone gets through this together. This weekend is a long weekend. I'm sure everyone's tired. So good time to put your feet up, relax. So have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for listening.